Earlier tonight, the governor of Rhode Island saw to it that Rhode Island's Get Married Here industry extends to everyone, including same-sex couples. Because tonight, Governor Lincoln Chafee signed the state's new marriage equality bill into law. He didn't even wait for the bill to be delivered to his desk. He signed it on the steps of the State House only minutes after the final version of the legislation was approved, which means that starting August 1st, Rhode Island becomes the 10th state in the country to have legal marriage for all couples. The very last state to do it in New England. Look at that sea of yellow in the Northeast. Delaware might be next. A bill authorizing same-sex marriage has been sent to the state Senate there for a vote next week, and more same-sex marriage bills are waiting for consideration in Illinois and Minnesota. And New Mexico is being asked to come up with an opinion on the issue one way or the other. Every state in the country has a law either for or against same-sex marriage, except New Mexico. Two same-sex couples denied marriage licenses in New Mexico have recently filed suit in an effort to force the state to decide. But right now, at this hour, same-sex marriage has become law in the state of Rhode Island, and it goes into effect August 1. 10 states now have marriage equality on the books, plus the District of Columbia. Fully 20% of these United States have expanded this very loving right to all. And joining us now for the interview is Rhode Island's independent governor, Lincoln Chafee. Thanks for being here, Governor.
My pleasure, Melissa.
So there was a lot of celebration at the Capitol today. What did the moment feel like for you?
Oh, it was a great celebration. Historic vote, 56-15, so overwhelming vote. And then you said we marched out and signed the bill. So first it passed the Senate last week, then today's vote in the House, marched straight out and signed it. Big celebration still going on here in Providence.
Talk to me about the overwhelming nature of this vote, because this is the kind of sea change that we've seen on this issue.
Yes, and earlier in your segment you were talking about the gun issue and public opinion and how that's shaping this debate politically. That's very true on gay marriage. And Rhode Island is one of the highest Roman Catholic states in the country, if not the highest. And still it was 56-15 in the House and 26-12 in the Senate. So overwhelming votes. And I think that's because public opinion is just changing, especially with young people. Young people very, very tolerant, accepting of the diversity that comes with gay marriage and actually welcoming of it. And so that's a big political dynamic.
So I know you have made marriage equality arguments in this kind of very moral, ethical sense, but the other kind of marriage equality argument you've made is economic. Make that claim for me.
Oh, absolutely. I do believe those studies that show there is a correlation between tolerance and economic prosperity. Richard Florida is an author that talks about talent, technology, and tolerance being the foundations of a good economy. And that tolerance aspect is very, very important. Young people, especially creative people, not only if they're gay, but also they just like that atmosphere. Younger people, creative people, and that's how you grow a good economy. Startup companies, engineers, young people, that's the roots of a good economy. There is a correlation.
So we were talking about the states as laboratories around gun legislation, but the states have also been laboratories around this issue of marriage equality. How soon until we see this as a federal law?
Good question. I do think Republicans are changing. Believe it or not, in our state Senate, the Republican caucus, it's not a big one here in Rhode Island, but the entire Republican caucus voted for same-sex marriage. And it's the first time any caucus of either party has voted en bloc for gay marriage in any of the states, or any of the other 9 states, plus the District of Columbia. So our entire Republican delegation in the Senate voted for it. So you can tell things are changing, even in the Republican Party, and that's good.
Rhode Island Governor Lincoln Chafee, once a Republican, now an independent, always an ally. Thank you very much for your signature tonight.